I'm Danielle Giordano. I'm a certified master trainer and also president of Dfine Sculpting and Nutrition. I started Dfine because I was morbidly obese and I was wheezing going upstairs, and I had no quality of life, and I made the choice not to die is basically what happened. And as big as I was when I started, I could walk, and that's all I could do. And you know, I often tell people, if you think walking whenever you're morbidly obese isn't a workout, go take a 100-pound dumbbell and go walk up the steps a couple of times. You'll very quickly realize that it is. And then I got it in my head that I was going to do a bike ride across the country. I was going to do a bike ride for equal rights, for GLBT rights. And I ended up doing that bike ride. I trained for it. Everybody told me I was crazy because I wasn't a professional. I did one of the most difficult routes in the world, and I ended up breaking some records and hopefully some stereotypes, and out of that media exposure, Dfine was born in Dallas, Texas, and I started training people out of the trunk of my car. Very, very humble beginnings as a fitness instructor, and training anybody I could, you know, making the joke, I'll train you, your dog, and your cat for 25 bucks, you know. Just being a female in such a male-dominated industry is difficult. Overcoming the stereotypes, you know, especially when you have a man or a man that's in very good shape, not thinking that you can give him a good workout. But I was just a sponge. You know, I started taking classes at the Cooper Institute, and I just kept taking classes, and I kept learning, and I kept reading, and I kept just absorbing as much as I could. And you know, years later, here I am with, you know, 23 certifying credentials, and you know, I sit on the advisory board for the very institute where I got my first certification from, which is humbling, just to be able to sit on a lot of boards across the country and so many different fields. I mean, from first responders to you know, the National Council for Activity and Nutrition in Washington, and dealing with kids' nutrition specifically in schools, and everything in between. It's just, it's shocking where I came from, my health where I came from. I mean, not only was I obese, but I mean, I was a 2.5 pack a day smoker. I mean, I was you know, a heavy smoker, and you know, it definitely didn't move very much, you know. And now, you know, a day without sweat is just incomplete, and that's the only way that I can explain it. You know, some people are like, oh my God, I got to go to the gym. And if I don't go to the gym, you should just stay away from me for a little while. Just, I'm grumpy. So it's just become a lifestyle, and that's what it should be for everybody, is a lifestyle. It's the people. When I was very heavy, you know, everybody wants to take advantage of you. Everybody wants to sell you the greatest and newest product, and everybody wants to tell you that they have the answer. And I think a lot of people get taken advantage of. To actually know that you have a knowledge base that can help somebody, and when you see somebody go from, oh my God, you want me to do what? You know, to they just, they get it. There comes a point with every single class and every single private client where it clicks. You see that it becomes, you can see that it becomes a part of them. You can see that they're starting to believe in themselves. And that is, that's what gets me up every day. Yeah. I know that when I help somebody and they truly get it, and that light bulb comes on, and they have that belief in themselves, I know that they're going to take that on, whether it's their husband or their wife or their grandkids or their kids or somebody. There's these little ripples that go out. And when people truly have knowledge, knowledge is power. So, you know, if one of my people ever walked into another personal trainer and they gave them some hullabaloo about, you know, how to work the biceps or how to do cardio, they know they can't be taken advantage of. You know what I mean? They know, they get it. And, you know, to have somebody have quality of life You know, that's the thing that most people don't get is the fitness industry tries to sell, you need to be a 246. I mean, that's what they want to sell. You know, let's show these people that in some cases have too little body fat or are clearly unhealthy because they're so skinny. And that's not what the long-term goal should be. The long-term goal should be enjoying life. I mean living, not just existing. I mean, not just existing from one day to another and depriving yourself and hating going to the gym and hating all of this. It's about another birthday, another anniversary. It's about going on a trip and enjoying yourself. It's about, you know, playing with your kids or your grandkids and actually not getting worn out. You know, it's, that's what it's about. And, you know, I said a long time ago that I said, my only goal in life, I said that my only goal in life was to leave the world a better place than when I found it. And I truly believe that this is kind of what I'm here to do. I'm here to help show people. I'm here to help show them that yes, they can. They believe in themselves. You know, you have to have the courage to make the commitment to have the change. And it's not a magic fix. You can talk to anybody who has ever worked with me. It is not a magic fix. There's hard work and there's patterns and behavior changes that have to be overcome. But when that happens and when that becomes that lifestyle, that's when you know that you've left your mark on somebody. You've left your mark on them forever, and they will, in turn, have those little ripples go out. You know, don't just exist. Truly live. You know, be well, enjoy life. You know, have longevity. It's not about being a size 2. It's about living life and living life the very best you can and the fullest you can. Well, the biggest obstacle, I'll say, I won't call it an excuse, I'll call it an obstacle, is that people don't have time. And one of my most favorite cartoon clips is a doctor talking to this guy. And the doctor said, well, here's your 2 choices. You know, you can either exercise for an hour a day or you can be dead 24 hours a day. You know, which one do you want to do? And that's really what it comes down to. You know, I often talk about paying it forward. You know, when something happens in a family and someone has a heart attack or they become very ill or God forbid they die of some massive health issue, you know, the one thing that people always want is one more day. You know, I want one more birthday. I want one more anniversary. I want, you know, I hate shoveling snow, but God, if I could just shovel snow, you know, if I could, you know, just go on a car ride for 15 hours and complain that we're not there yet. But people aren't willing to pay that day today. And I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, with this challenge team, all of these people are business owners. All of them are extremely busy. They don't have a whole lot of time in their schedule. But one of the things you learn is as you put it in, then it becomes part of the daily routine. Then it doesn't become this extra thing that you do. It becomes, this is a thing that I do. And when that happens, and especially when people start seeing the results, that's when the adherence, you see, it goes back to believing in themselves and believing that they can do it. But definitely time is the biggest thing that I hear, and it's the easiest thing to overcome. And sometimes until people actually go through it, they don't believe that. But it's the truth, really. What should they expect? I mean, first and foremost, they should expect that they're going to have understanding. They're going to have someone who is there that is highly qualified, someone who not only cares about getting them to that goal, but also cares how they get to that goal, not just the end mark, but the journey that it takes to get there. Someone should expect that they're gonna have someone who understands. They can relate to them. I think that's the biggest thing. Sometimes trainers are paired up with clients and at some of these other companies, and it's just simply because of a schedule. Well, you fit in their schedule. Well, there you go, and come over. And that's a very poor way to line people up and to associate people. It's really about what's going to be the best success for them. And there's 1,000 different formulas for that, and it's about really finding that key. The first thing that people should expect is high quality. and people who understand the journey and have the knowledge to make that journey successful and very effective and very productive, and to make the best use of their time and to get them to their goals the healthiest way possible, because that's always our end goal, is the healthiest possible outcome. Again, it's always about wellness, not about weight, which is something that people have a hard time getting around sometimes, is wellness over weight, because they get too tied up in the scale. But the scale is only one very small tool that someone can use in their arsenal. Well, I mean, first and foremost, I'll say I despise the word diet. Diet is one of those things that's overused. It already implies that something is temporary. Truly making a life change is having a behavior change, and having that behavior change become part of your daily routine. I think nutrition is hugely important, and let me stress that it's not just about calories and fat and carbohydrates. It's about nutritional density that you're getting for the calorie that you're expending. Our program is very plant-based. Our program is a non-GMO, very whole food, whole nutrition-based program. And that's because simply that's where you get the most nutritional density for the calorie that you're intaking. And it's not just about a carbohydrate, it's about what type of carbohydrate are you eating. It's not just about, simply magnesiums or fibers or what have you. It's what combination that they're in. And how you're intaking them, what time of day you're intaking them. So it's hugely important. And nutrition is one of those things, again, that when people get it, you see the light bulb, and they get it and they have it. Danielle wouldn't want me having that, so I put that back. And just the change in what was being brought into the house. That's why, in this program, we tried to put very healthy options in front of them. That's why we partnered with non-GMO products, with products that don't have the harmful chemicals in it. True Athlete Protein, that's one. I mean, Zevia, I love Zevia. Zevia is one of those beverages that I think people have an addiction to sodas, and I think in particular, they without having the aspartame in there and the natural ingredients that they have, I can't talk enough about them. I love them to death. But it's really understanding the body. And when you understand the physiological processes of the body, and you understand how the cardiovascular system works with the muscles, that works with what you're eating and how your metabolic rate is intertwined with that, it's amazing. It's an amazing thing to see somebody finally get that and to understand that. Well, I mean, if somebody knows that either they're not living their life to the fullest potential that they could, or not, they're in that existence mode and they're not in that living mode, you can't wait, because if you wait till next week or next month, next week and next month is going to come and it's going to go, and you're going to be right back to square one again. I always say that you need two things to reach your goals. You need desire and you need sacrifice. And desire is saying, yeah, I want to do that. And sacrifice is actually doing what needs to be done to get to that goal. You have to understand that it is about wellness. It is about your health. It is not about a pant size, and it's not about what size shirt you have. It is about how healthy your cardiovascular system is, how healthy your muscle tissue is, how well you can actually live. Hopefully all of these guys will leave this experience and they will truly live a more enriched life, and be able to be more positive and have more of those once in a lifetime experiences that maybe they would never have had if they didn't have this experience. And that's something that I will take with me and that I will treasure, that was something I was able to give.